Welcome to Sports Jazz. David, Josh, I myself, Isaac. We are back, and a lot has happened since yesterday. But first, of course, the news that everyone is talking about: Manchester United has agreed to sign, or in other words, has agreed with PSG over the transfer of Manuel Ugarte. Total package is around 60 million euros, fixed with a 50 million euros as the fixed amount supposed to be paid, and 10 million euros in add-ons depending on the appearances, Champions League qualification. So yeah, that's it for Man United fans. Once again, welcome to Sports Jazz. My name is Isaac, Josh, and David, and we are ready to set off. Josh, real quick, as a Manchester United fan, everyone has been waiting for this. All Manchester, it's been long overdue. I was even tired of this whole Wogate thing because I saw all the other deals being rather going so fast. Real quick, please give us a rundown through Wogate.
Yeah, it's amazing times. It's amazing times for United. We all had this feeling that this was going to be the marquee signing of the window because we needed a midfielder, and for so long, United, for over a decade, United has often put papers over cracks in the role of a central defensive midfielder. But the signing of Manuel Ugarte brings a new lease of life in the role. Casemiro was the latest bandage tipped in that midfield at United, but now we have a 23-year-old player. He's Uruguayan. Manuel Ugarte is a destroyer, or you can say a traditional number 6, but he has so much going for him that Eric Tenhaags can play him in very many different ways. He can play him with Kobe Mainu, he can play him with Casemiro, he can play him in a single pivot. Yeah, so Manuel Ugarte is a very decent signing for Man United, and I believe he will change the dynamics at the club.
Thank you. Yeah, David, about Manuel Ugarte, should United fans be extremely overjoyed? Because I know they've been having a lot of problems when it comes to the midfield. Casemiro is not someone who's going to give you every day that goes by. He's aging, and he's not someone that is going to give you 100%. Because you see, sometimes even when he starts the games, he doesn't finish the games at the same pace.
Yeah, I excited is the word that they should be, because one of the biggest or the gaping holes they had was in central midfield, and that includes central defensive midfield, right central, left central. They have either age, experience, but finally they can now say they have legs, right? And even though that's not all he's good for, because of course he can do all these other things, but in principle, that is the one thing, the one ingredient we can say that was absolutely absent in their midfield. Casemiro is not the Casemiro of old. He's not that person. Yeah, and we were here talking about how certain types of games expose him, especially the games that are very open and end-to-end. They usually expose him, which is exactly what we witnessed against Brighton. So I think it's a good thing.
It's a good one. I also think it's a really it's a great add-on for the Manchester. It's a boost for their midfield. Anyway, that's what we're going to go into, because today the main topic is about the Manchester United midfield. Now that we have Ugarte joining Man United, we don't expect Eric Ten Hag mourning and crying about issues of midfield. At least he's been Ineos has done so well to support him, give him covers in all areas except for the left back position. But one can arguably say Malacia and Luke Shaw, once they're all back from the sick bay, they're going to give us something exceptional. Well, Josh, right away, thank you so much. Yeah, that's Manuel Ugarte for you guys. We're going to talk and dissect more about him in our next topic, which is the Manchester United midfield that has been having a lot of issues. But right now we see United has added on. Sorry, they've added Ugarte, so meaning they have Ugarte, they have Bruno Fernandes, they have Kobe Mino, they have who else am I forgetting? Of course, Casemiro
Scott
himself, then
McTominay.
Mason Mount, no, Scott McTominay. By the transfer of Ugarte was waiting or was pending because Scott McTominay was crossing over to Napoli. His medical is very soon. He's going to Italy to do his medical very soon. And as I speak, Ugarte also is on his way to England, Manchester, to have his medical. Nick, I see you. Shout outs to you, Nick. Shout outs to you, Nick. As always. So, Josh, you have Ugarte, you have Casemiro, you have Bruno, you have Kobe Mino, you have Mason Mount. Let's talk about the Manchester United midfield now. Where is Ugarte going to be playing, and who is he going to be dropping, or rather kicking out of the team? Is Eric Tenhaags? Sorry, Josh. Is Eric Tenhaags going to be playing with two DMs?
Well, it depends on so many things, but at least with the signing of Manuel Ugarte in midfield permanently, not even on loan, permanently, because we thought of we kind of thought he would come on loan. But anyhow, the signing of Manuel Ugarte in midfield offers Eric Ten Hag so many ways he can play. You know that Eric Ten Hag wants his team to win the ball back quickly and high up the pitch, and Manuel Ugarte really shares winning the ball back. As in, this is a thing that he does: recovery and making neat passes, not just 5-yard passes, but he is even able to distribute. He can ping a long ball, so he can play him in a 4-2-3-1 in a double pivot.
Correct.
Or he can play him in a 4-3-3 where he plays Bruno Fernandes and maybe Kobe Mino or Casemiro.
Yeah.
And then he waits for the 3-1-6, the system that he plays when United is on the ball. When United is pressing the ball and they want to win it in those spells. At least we now have legs. We have someone who can be able to track those runners. And you should know that Manuel Ugarte is not afraid of a tackle. If anything, my fear is that he's too aggressive and not very patient. That means he must be very calculative in the tackles that he makes in the middle of the park.
Josh, I thought you needed a player like him.
Yes.
I mean, someone to do that dirty work. Casemiro is not so good.
We do need a player.
Oh, he used to be.
No. We do need a player. We do need a player like him. He's a match made in heaven. I mean, if you had Casemiro and he had tired legs all the time and he was picked up, but I'm just showing you that there's a weakness there, that if he's not very calculative in the tackles that he makes, he might just miss one and they'll still pick us up. But on the whole, Manuel Ugarte is the player for Man United. We can also use him. We can also use him as we can use him with Kobe Mino, and Kobe Mino hides his weaknesses on the ball, because he's not the most skillful player on the ball, but he just does what is enough. So if you put him next to a player like Kobe Mino to be the orchestra of the game, that means that Manuel Ugarte can just recover this ball and pass it to Kobe Mino and keep everything neat and safe. And then Kobe Mino can thrive because he does not have to worry about his defensive duties all the time. Not that he won't do them in a game, but he doesn't have to worry about defensive duties. Then Manuel, he knows that he has cover. Manuel Ugarte is there. And Bruno Fernandes will also not be running 40 yards to come back to his own box, because we need him in the other box.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. David, I see Josh speaking, but in whatever he has said, it's like he's already pushing out Casemiro. He's pushing him out of the picture, and he's having Ugarte, Kobe, with Fernandes up front.
No,
What's your take?
he's yeah, I feel like it's important to actually also highlight, or not highlight, but also keep one eye on his limitations, because the reality is, well, you've just shared a very important update,
Yeah.
which gives me perspective. The reality is, with the absence of Scott McTominay, then that means genuinely United is still falling short in midfield, central midfield particularly. That is the deeper the deeper midfield positions. So when Ugarte comes in, the risk, considering his limitations, is susceptible to, errant fouling, and maybe probably he can expose himself to injury. In the event that he's out, still United is falling short, because when you look at the United midfield, it genuinely falls short with first team experience, because
Yeah.
Eriksen is not exactly a central midfielder. You consider that profile a creative one. Hannibal Mejbri is a prodigy. Let's say Mason
Hannibal's left
Mount,
for Hannibal's left already. He's gone to Burnley
and that
on loan,
exacerbates the
obligation to
problem
buy
even more.
9M.
So you see, so genuinely, central midfield is a short place for United. The only name I can think of right now is Kobe Mainu, also a prodigy, although he's definitely made his claim in the last 18 months to be a first team player. But you genuinely do not have central midfield profiles. Most of what you have is excess and maybe not very useful attacking midfielders. The rest are wide men. So that's a place that is, well, it's a relief that you now have Ugarte, but he may
now have three. We now have three. The manager can choose to play.
How about the kid,
Casemiro, Toby Collier, Casemiro, Kobe Mainu, Manuel Ugarte, Toby Collier. Yes, he's a prodigy, but for a team that is building, if you do have a decent talent, like we saw with Kobe Mainu when he came through the ranks last season, the season before, and last season, he was actually the best midfielder that we had. Then Toby Collier, if he's given a few minutes, and the ceiling that he has, because the manager thinks of him very highly, and the people around Old Trafford, then Toby Collier is another player who can be integrated in this side. Actually, not as fast as maybe Kobe Mainu was, because we didn't have a player there. Easily, because we have now Manuel Ugarte, we have Casemiro. Sorry, I cut you off.
so no, it's fine. It's fine, because I'm trying to hear, but I don't feel like it's a solid base. Well, Toby Collier, this is a bet.
Yes. No, David.
This is the thing, though.
David.
Yeah,
there's been an issue. Josh, please, just a minute, if I may. Okay. There's been an issue when it comes to loss of possession in their midfield. In Man United's midfield. Casemiro himself, overall, if I'm to give you the stats, Ugarte versus Casemiro, tackles is way ahead. Is 4.56. Casemiro 3.76. When it comes to interceptions, 1.86. Casemiro 0.82. When it comes to ball recoveries, 8.42. Casemiro 6.03. When it comes to ground duels won, 6.79. Casemiro 4.62. Loss of possession, 8.56, and Casemiro is in a whooping 13.6. So I think he's a great add-on to their midfield. He's going to help a lot. Maybe the only weakness I see, being EPL Premier League, it's a bit more physical, and he's not
depth and strain.
Explain that.
Yeah, because
oh boy.
Yeah. Ugarte is definitely going to be an upgrade, and they may even work well together, right? But I'm looking at the long haul. Yes. On a game-by-game basis, you can solve the problems, but over the long haul, I think it will start to create problems for Ten Hag, because I feel like that is short, especially with the ambition at United. I don't know how many fronts they want to compete on. That might be a question answered over time, but I would definitely be concerned if all we have is Ugarte and Casemiro for central midfield. Pure profiles, and Kobe Mainu.
No, but that is better than we did have last season. You see,
I wonder why McTominay was sold.
Yes, he's the only player that we could get money from to actually help us get a specialist, because Manuel Ugarte is a specialist. Yes, McTominay is a central midfielder, but he didn't really give you much. Yes, he did score a couple of goals here and there, but we were not the team that needed a squad player like Scott McTominay. I know he does have the DNA of the club. He's grown up here. He plays for the badge and all those things. Actually, every Man United fan wanted to keep Scott McTominay, but we do understood that to have Manuel Ugarte, we needed to have. We needed to let go of Scott McTominay. The thing, though, I wanted to bring to your attention is that now it will not be so different. It will not be chaotic when Man United takes off a midfielder and brings on Casemiro. You see, in the dying minutes of the game, if Casemiro, you imagine these days, the game we played against Brighton, the confusion that we had when we took off Bruno Fernandes and we brought on Scott McTominay, but a totally different player.
Very awful
a totally
substitution.
different player.
And chance creation.
Exactly, they stopped creating as soon as Bruno Fernandes went off.
Yeah, but he didn't have a good game though. Anyhow,
when you did, Josh.
When you bring on Casemiro, when you take off Kobe Maino while Ugarte is playing, and you bring on Casemiro, there's not a big drop in quality of the player. And now imagine you're managing him well, and he's playing just 20 minutes, so he can give you the best 20 minutes of a football game. You understand? So I see that that is he can even be more productive for United, because even the 4-3-3, if Eric Tenhaags chose to play the 4-3-3 with Dallo and Mazrui as inverted wing backs, he can play with 2 8s in Kobe Maino and Fernandes, and Ugarte is in a single pivot, because he can actually play like that. He's aggressive. He's very strong. He has stamina. You know, he's the type of player, and he has legs.
Yeah,
he can run. He can recover the ball.
And he plays
his
dirty.
Interceptions.
He better even on the ball than Casemiro.
He understands his role very well.
Casemiro is old. You know, I've been looking here in midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues, and you see when it comes to tackles, in all the five top leagues in Europe, when it comes to tackles, he's ranked the second. Okay, it's a 4.65. When it comes to tackles won, 2.65. He's ranked the third. When it comes to possession won in the final third, he's ranked 5th, and it's 1.35. When it comes to ball recoveries, he's the 4th with a ratio of 8.42. It goes on. So, David, I know you're still saying, it's like you're saying there's you still have questions, but to me, I think they shouldn't be worried.
No, I have to be honest with you.
In fact, hold up. We see here in the comment section, Metro GS Solid Delta saying Manuel Ugarte is gonna break everyone's legs. Then we see Nick, shout outs to you, man, saying I hope Ugarte really offers something. Then we see who else here. Still, yeah, he says Ugarte is a good CDM, is a good CM, can push the middle well, perfect for Zaxi and Holland. Then also we see he says top 4. Yeah, I think no. We are going to come to this, guys. We are going to come to this. We are going to come to this. Then of course, Domba saying is he the beginning of Man United's future at EPL? No.
Sure he is. Sure he
Josh,
is.
No.
He is the beginning, because you see, you need a very solid spine for your team to start to think about winning things. I think the next position that United should be looking at is a goalkeeper, because I don't think you can win a championship without a very decent goalkeeper.
Yeah,
and
Onana
for me, Onana has a bit of butterfingers. But when you have the spine of a midfielder like Manuel Ugarte, 23 years old, he's a ball carrier, he has stamina, he's very aggressive, his ball recovery is good, interceptions are good. I mean, that is a player that you can shape your team around. And
And age
imagine
will keep him
the one
around
playing
longer.
next to him is Kobe Mino.
Age
Yeah,
will keep
David, you're
him
saying
around
something?
longer as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
age will
thinking
keep him. He's
his
23
age
years
is
old.
also in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's
he's
23 years.
we can definitely look at him as one that's going to grow to own that role. He's definitely
Mm.
going to
True.
I'm just
comprise.
surprised. I'm just surprised PSG sold him this fast. I mean, by the way, last season it was Todd Boyle that had gone in for Manuel Ugarte.
Manuel Ugarte,
Somehow
yeah.
PSG hijacked the whole deal. But I mean,
Yeah,
and he
but
played a number of games. I think around 20, 21
37, I think.
altogether. No, but he started around
He
21 to 22. I'm not so,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
he did
around
play
there.
a lot of football. The thing is, when you're a club like PSG, whenever they are shining toys, you want them and you want them all. It does not mean that because they bought Yao Neves, then Manuel Ugarte is not a decent player. They just wanted to buy Yao Neves because he was on the market, and they bought Yao Neves, so they needed to make room for a midfielder, and they decided to let Manuel Ugarte go.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. David, I mean, you as an Arsenal fan, I think, rather, I hope you're contented with what Josh is preaching.
So yeah, so we keep one eye on the risk. It no longer
Yeah.
feels like United is a risk to our, because now, okay, well, let's focus on United. For example, I genuinely feel like you've solved that problem, but then
Mm.
how does that affect, further ahead of the pitch, higher up the pitch? I still see problems there. Whenever I see a situation like that, I'm like, okay, we still have room to wiggle here at
Yeah.
Arsenal. We can get past these guys. Maybe they're solid at the back, but we can do certain things because of that issue they have at the front.
It's
Yeah, but to beat
So
Arsenal, to beat Arsenal, we just need to maybe have a meeting with the Premier League referees before the game, because they just keep maybe cancelling the goals that United scores, or not giving penalties to a debutant like Rasmus Højlund. I mean, decisions go your way, but this season
yeah.
will be very different for you.
Real quick. Let's look at Manchester United transfer business. We've seen the free transfers. You have Rafael Varane, who left on a free transfer. Anthony Martial, Shola, then Brandon Williams. You have Omari Foson. And sales, you have Alvaro Fernandez. You have Donny van de Beek. You have Willie. Uh, is it Willie?
Kambuala.
Yeah, Kambuala. Sorry. Then
Kambuala.
Mason Greenwood, who's doing so well in the French league. He's shooting goals. You have
Oh,
he's shaking nets
three
rather. You have
goals in
Wan
two
Bissaka,
games.
who has gone to West Ham. You have Will Fish. You have Facundo Pellistri. You have Max Oyedele, Hannibal. You have Scott McTominay, who's still pending, but very soon going to be joining Napoli. And in the arrivals, you have also, uh, I mean, you have players that everyone thought would not come, or if they were to come, it would have been a very high deal. I'll start with Joshua Zakzi, who's a striker with at 34 million pounds. You have Lenny Euro, currently injured, 18-year-old centre back, 42 million pounds. Delete, who joined a few weeks ago, alongside Mazarawi, who's a right back, Delete CB. Mazarawi 13M and Delete 38M. Then you have today, with his medical pending, Manuel Ugarte, a good defensive midfielder, a good DM at 42 million pounds plus 42 million pounds plus add-ons 8.5. Yeah, so in other words, you have a total of 169 plus 25 million pounds in potential add-ons. Okay, and raised the money raised in all the sales and everything, wages, offloaded and all that, you have 120 million pounds. I think that's really, really good. Ineos has done a very good. In other words, they've given United a very good transfer window, something that we had not seen in a while. So now, this is where we're coming to. I wanted us to dig into Eric Tenhaags' system. How is he going to be playing these guys? We've seen him fidget. His tactics are off. I'm being honest. Eric Ten Hag's tactics, if he's not serious, okay?
No,
No, I'm
no, they're
telling you,
not.
Josh, his tactics are off. If he's not
No, they're
serious,
not.
Eric Ten Hag is going to be sacked. Because there was a poll: Ten Hag, Postecoglou, you had Anslot, you had
Who made the
Enzo.
poll? Who made the
Enzo,
poll? British
fans.
media. Who
No,
made the poll?
fans.
British
Who's going to be
media.
sacked first?
They've
But Josh, no, Josh.
no,
Wait.
they
Let's look
actually,
at his
I don't
tactics.
know
Look
why
at the
they're
game.
out
Look at the
for
Brighton
Eric
game,
Ten
Josh.
Hag
Look
fair.
at the Brighton game.
But let
David,
me
tell
tell
me
you
about the
something.
Brighton game.
Yes.
Mason
So,
Mount is not supposed to be
yes,
playing.
I did tell you about the. Come on,
I
there's a
would- I
reason
would-
for why these things are done, and you can. I know you're going to be one of the fans that is going to ask for Ten Hag's head on a plate on Sunday if we play Liverpool and Manuel Ugarte is not playing. As in, it doesn't matter to you that he signed yesterday, or he's ready, or he's not ready. You just want him to play, so you stop bleeding. But there's a process. There's a reason why these things are done. You see, we imagine Eric Ten Hag this season. He also starts the season like a new manager. It's the first time that he's had a structure at United. The new people around him. He has 5 new players to integrate into his team. He has to manage the ones who are there, the ones he had trusted or something like that. And this is just the second game. This is the second game of the season. So I mean, it will take some time. It will take some time, but he will get it right.
Abebe says Rabiot, Rafinha are better for Man United. Then
Oh
of
my
course you have
God! Oh my God! There's no player I do not
Abebe.
like
Josh
Rabiot.
does not like Rabiot at all.
I
Then you have
do
Nick
not
says,
like.
I love
By
watching
the way,
ball
not
win
Rabiot the
midfielders.
person, but his qualities.
So yeah, Josh, again, yeah, David,
So
do you think Ten Hag's job is online if he keeps messing up and having those funny decisions like how he fumbled the win? We saw he was doing well. At least they were about to bag the draw. They were about to bag in a point, but we saw him take off 5 players, all of them. I agree with Maguire. Some would say otherwise, but he took off Maguire. I think he did it a bit late. Of course, Maguire messed up the first goal that was scored. Mason Mount shouldn't have started. Yes, that was right. He took him off in the second half when it had just started. But you also have Joshua Zirkzee. Why is he playing? Because now they're going to be playing Liverpool. You do not want to gamble with Liverpool. Liverpool are firing goals. Anslot is doing so good. You do not want to be bringing Fernandes, playing as your false 9, yet you've splashed yet you've splashed 34 million pounds. He's on the bench. His first game, he come off the bench against scored. You see what happened even in the game against Brighton. He tried, he's so hungry that he went in for, anyway, I don't think that was intentional, for the ball to Garnacho's ball to hit his knee, for it to be cancelled due to VAR offside rules. But don't you think Ten Hag, David, still on you? Sorry, speaking to you. Don't you think Ten Hag is going to be sacked if he doesn't change his tactics?
no, I think that's one of the things that changed this season. At least we are under the impression that the current owners, or definitely the people who are calling the shots,
No,
this,
the owners
particular
okay.
point.
Yeah, the owners
so,
okay. But look at Rashford. He shouldn't be starting.
I'm highlighting some of the things that are working for Ten Hag, right?
Okay.
And we know that is probably unlikely. He may not be fired. And the new guys at Ineos appear ready to give him, some room. They appear ready to give him rope, as much as possible, so that he can try and actualize the football idea that he has. However, the things that are not working in his favor are probably going to make him look a little bad, especially for a club side whose external stakeholders, the fans especially, have serious clout. So the fans are going to have his head for a while, are going to call for his head for a while, because, for example, 5 of the players are, the profile of those players are starters. When you look at Ugarte, you're not looking at him and thinking bench. When you look
Thank you. Joshua Zirkzee.
Joseph Zaxi does not look like bench material. The
And
center
he's
back
ready.
that just came in, none of the
Delete.
5 players that came in,
Mm.
delete, none of them look like Mazraoui. None of those
Yeah.
people look like bench players. They look like they're
Yeah.
here to start. And that's going to cause a problem because it has to take time, especially because they come from they are very, very different football environments. So it's going to take time. And while this is happening, you want to pray and hope for him that he gets certain things right as fast as possible, because there's also that problem, the issue of squad management and juggling the personnel. Some other players, the prodigies, are going to be making demands for game time. So the whole situation is, as much as the things that are going well for him, I don't want to be him. I don't think there's a manager who is particularly eager to be in his circumstances. But of course, you can see that he has belief from the way he talks. He feels he's going to solve these things.
At times he
But
messes
what
up
is for sure
when
is
he's
it's going to
talking.
take time.
You see, at times also he messes up when he's talking. Before the Fulham game, he was
No,
like,
he
no,
never
Josh,
messes up.
wait.
when you
Before the
when you
Fulham game, he
Apart from
said, before the Fulham game, he said, we're entering the Premier League. No, it was actually Community Shield. Again, it's Man City. If you all remember, he
Yes.
said, we are starting the season, but we are not very okay. In other words, he meant, Lenny Euro. Okay, in
He
other words,
said
they are
we are
not
not
yet ready.
ready.
They are not yet ready.
he's,
Correct.
he's
Then
honest.
after
Yes.
winning
That's true.
Fulham, after winning on
Yeah.
Fulham, he came out and said,
Yeah.
we are okay now. We are ready to fire.
No.
Josh,
English is not
No.
his first language. English is not his first language.
Yeah,
But you
English is
can
not
tell
his.
that
But
he's
okay,
being honest, and
when
he expresses
he's being
his
honest,
he's probably even sentimental, that you will see that he's now excited, you'll see that he's happy with some
oh
progress.
yes, he's
But the
excited.
first
Yeah.
thing he said, and by the way, even though some of the things he says might appear clumsy and reckless, that's what I want to see from my manager. I want to see that despite the problems in place, my manager is still confident in what he's doing, whether I am the one employing him or whether I am a fan.
He's
We
in
went through that
control.
with Ateta. Everyone was like, Ateta out, but the guy was full of belief. You kept saying, guys, trust the process. So, there's that element. You want to make sure you're also, as you're critiquing him, you're also getting it right. So we shall see. I think the cries for him to get out are going to become louder, but I feel like now he has the personnel.
I'm telling you, he's playing
to at least do
Liverpool
something.
this weekend. If he's beaten, that you're going to see Eric Tenhaags or ETH out.
That's just bad
The
luck.
hashtag
That's just
trending.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
you're just
terrible luck.
riding with the English media, because when you had Jose Mourinho recently, when he did that interview with Ferdinand, when he was highlighting the problems that he did have at United, one of the mentions was the media. He says the media did not help, because much as all these things were happening at the club, they just could not let him be. They just could not let Manchester United be. And I sort of have this feeling that the most of the pundits, all these failed managers in who are now pundits at TV stations in England, they just have an agenda against any foreign manager who is at Manchester United, because unless he's their friend, unless he pats them on the back and lets them have their way, because as useless as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was at United, he did not get as much stick
Josh, that is mean.
No, listen to me. As useless as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was at United, he did not get as much stick as Eric Ten Hag is getting. He did not get as much stick as Jose Mourinho is getting. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think finished second in some season behind Man City with like 20 points. He was applauded for it. I mean, like Jose Mourinho finished second, 18 points before, but every other day they just wanted his head on a plate. And so I hope that Ineos does not listen to them and they do not give them their way. And in that way, they trust the manager. They trust to do things their own way and not being driven by what the media wants. I mean, before a game was kicked in the league, there was this aura of United loses to Fulham, Eric Ten Hag is gone. There was a media, there was a journalist from Chelsea, the guy who covers Chelsea, just before the FA Cup. he published an article that Eric Tenhag will be sacked whether he wins the FA or not. As in, how does that help Man United? But this is, imagine he's a professional. He even covers a whole club.
Josh,
but he published something like that. So there's an agenda against United, but we are united. We are united.
David,
we shall not give in.
David, let me come to you shortly. We see Nick saying Liverpool were good in the first 2 games, but not really tested just yet after facing City, Arsenal, Villa, Spurs, and even Chelsea. I like the fact that he has left out United. He underrates you. Then maybe we can rate. We can rate Anslot. No, he's not. In other words,
because it's not that Nick, he underrates United. But he does
Nick,
understand.
please write in the comment section and tell us if you think United is a threat.
No. Nick, shut up. Nick really understands what United is about. He knows that it is a team transitioning or they're finding themselves. It's at this moment you cannot call a Liverpool United game a test because we are on different wavelengths. You can see that Anslot just got the people who have been at the club for all those years and they have experience in the league, and they're the ones he's dealing with. For Ten Hag, he has 5 new players. He has to integrate in his side. He has a whole new system that is trying to
Josh.
Josh,
he had players last season.
Play this season.
He has bought players.
Which players did he have last season?
Well, he got how many players? Mason Mount. No, I mean the players that he recommended. You have Mason Mount. You have
who tells you he recommended them? Did Mourinho recommend Alexis Sanchez at United?
Well,
but he was bought under Jose Mourinho.
I don't really remember, but that was Woodward. But listen, what I'm trying to say is this: he's trying to gather all his Dutch army. Mount played for him at some point. Vegas played for him at some point.
What problem is there if a manager has identified the qualities of players in these people, and he does believe that they will fit in a system that will be
which system, Josh, if he's not using them?
Like I told you, you will want Manuel Ugarte to play on Sunday. But he's
not ready. No. But of course,
even if he's ready,
I can give you an example of a player who came and joined right away. Bruno came, joined right away, even scored a goal against Everton on his debut.
He came in June. He came in June or January. Yeah, he came in June or January.
No, I think it was January. Yes. I remember he joined and he scored
the difference
right
between
away.
June and January?
Okay,
when you come in the summer, it's not the same like a player who has come in January, because in January some leagues are off, some leagues are still playing.
We have Meto J saying Raheem Sterling is unlikely. I think he means to join Man United. No, I don't see that happening.
Won't be. I believe that Manuel Ugarte is the last, is the icing on the cake for Ineos during this transfer window. I don't expect any other player to be signing for Man United in this window, but unless there's a really an enticing deal that has come up.
By the way, Josh, both of you and David, I know we've talked about this at some point, but I mean, isn't this really nice? Doesn't this really prove that Ineos, or rather the Glazers, were right to get Ineos on board instead of the Qataris? Because they are doing everything right. That's what I'm saying. If Ten Hag is playing around, let him get the kick. He has everything on his platter now. No more excuses.
Except to win the next game, which is impossible to win because those players that you have just bought won't be in the squad.
No, Josh, but you'll have De Ligt. De Ligt will be ready. Mazarawi will be ready. Joshua Zirkzee will be ready. Who else? Okay, maybe in the midfield. And of course, another thing, play with, I mean, that thing of trying to use a false 9 in Bruno Fernandes.
You know, fans like
very many offsides.
Fans like to play Football Manager, but the managers at clubs
are you taking
know
a dig at me because are you taking a dig at me because I play a fantasy Premier League? What's up?
Now you and your fantasy Premier League, if you're 18th on the log, why would you sack Eric Tenhag?
David.
So
Yeah, David.
you said the previous guys got Ineos on board. I want to rephrase that a bit, and I hope I'm right about that. I don't think it was more of they were got on board. I think it's the benefit. I think Ineos benefited from public pressure. Really, there must have been public pressure from several stakeholders, and that's why that particular team or that particular group came on board at United.
Was it from Saudi, Sheikh Jassim? Saudi or Qatar?
Qatar,
yeah.
From Qatar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think this is one of the best things going for United at the moment, the presence of Ineos. You can see that they're backing their guy. Yeah, and he's accumulating a lot of talent that he can even speak on a first language basis with. You see, so that's how local they're trying to solve the problem. They're trying to get it down to now you even have players who can actually speak your language. His assistant, or I don't know whether he's an assistant manager or a technical manager, but even his assistant, Ruud van Nistelrooy, even Ruud van Nistelrooy, you know, they can speak their natural language. So you can see the depth.
Who's the set piece coach? He also speaks the same language. Is it?
So Gojessen.
No, I read somewhere that he also speaks
He
Dutch.
has a lot of work to do, that set piece coach, because
the equalizer, the winning goal.
Both goals, because much as the first goal was not a set piece, but Maguire actually got out of the way for that ball to pass.
Why are you playing Maguire? Because he played decently on that Fulham game. But let's come back. Yeah, David, about Ineos.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be worried about Ineos, or because they are one of the things that is going right for United. We just, I mean, the main concern should be how much time or how tolerant are they going to be with Ten Hag? Because you can see the depths or the extent to which they have gone to make the scenario or the environment conducive for Ten Hag to thrive.
Thank you. Yeah, David, I know, Josh, I know you are so pleased with Ten Hag. Sorry, not Ten Hag, Ineos, with how they've handled the business, supporting Ten Hag very early in the transfer window, unlike how it was compared to the other summers. Please tell me, how do you rate them so far now?
The difference that we do have now is actually letting players go. Ineos has managed to actually get some players out of the door. We still have some players we think should be leaving United, but at least we've reduced the wage bill. We've managed to sell players, which is not a thing that United has been doing, because United would even offer contracts to players who were injured, like the case was with Phil Jones, who was given 4 years when he had spent most of the time injured. But now Ineos can move on. It can trim the squad in the manner that the manager wants. It can have more quality because there is now more space for players, which is a good thing. And the backing of the manager by signing 5 players in a transfer window where when
is the last time you saw that?
Under Louis van Gaal. But the difference is this time the resource envelope was really small, but we managed
in the bargain. Anyway, I don't want to call it
we managed to find a way. We did the business really well.
They pushed so
well. We didn't spend overboard, and we got the players that we got, and they all look very exciting talents for Man United. And for me, I am very, very confident that United will go places with the players that they sign. It's just that your friends in the British media, they already want to replace Eric Ten Hag with Ruud van Nistelrooy. They're creating a rift where there's no rift. They're already suggesting that, even the training sessions are conducted by Ruud van Nistelrooy. But when it is time to take the blame after the game, it's like, no, it's Eric Ten Hag's tactics. So, I mean, Ineos should know better. They should know all that, block out the unnecessary noise, and concentrate on Manchester United and its progress.
Thank you, thank you, Josh. We see that Mikel Merino. I just saw a tweet somewhere. Mikel Merino from Arsenal meeting his teammates.
Josh's
Actually,
guy.
Oh, the Spanish Mark Momin is here.
yeah. In fact, they looks like Sterling. Yeah. I'm going to come to you, Meto G. I've seen that. But let me first share this with you guys. I see. There you go. It looks like it says Dan Deal Arsenal have signed Mikel Merino from Real Sociedad, 32M fixed fee, 5 add-ons on a long-term contract. That's very good for Arsenal. Let me put it up for you guys to see it. There you go.
Yeah, it's good for Arsenal. I was sold.
Yeah, it's a good deal. We see Mikel Merino. We see Ateta. Is that Edu?
To Gaspar.
David, who?
Edu, that's him.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Then another thing, what Meto was saying. Meto, yeah, let's get into you. He said something about Man United, which is true. I don't know where I've seen it. It's here from McGrath Mike. It says that Man United and Chelsea have opened talks over a potential swap deal involving Jadon Sancho and Raheem Sterling.
What's
Josh?
what's the signature on that tweet?
No, he's credible. He's credible.
It's credible.
Yeah,
That
he's
would
credible.
be amazing. That would be amazing for us right now if we get a player like Raheem Sterling and we manage to offload Jadon Sancho.
You know,
Yo,
it's that credible that
amazing.
David. It's that credible that David Einstein also did tweet something about it. He said
That is amazing.
Manchester
That is
United are in
amazing.
talks with
I hope
Chelsea
that we
over
do
the
get the
departure of
player. I hope that we do get the player and we manage to let Jadon Sancho go because, and I wish Jadon Sancho well because he's one of the players who must leave United. I mean, if he
Jadon
does
Sancho.
not leave United, yeah, if he does
Mm.
not leave United, I just see something bad developing in that locker room because he's not the player for United. He's not the player to win us, to push us to where we want to be.
I know. I see. Meto follows Sai TV. Yeah, I know. He says looks like Sterling could be coming to Man United. Dan Ashworth is in talks to bring him over. By the way, Josh,
Yeah, Lord.
if there's anything that Ineos has done so far, I mean, leave the players aside, it's bringing Dan Ashworth to join the Manchester United club. He's doing so well. He's behind all the negotiations.
But it looks like everyone that they did bring in is doing their job actually very well because
please
when
break
you
some
look
for
at
me, Josh.
when you look at the director of recruitment, Vivel, he just got us Seko Kone. He got us Chido Obi Martin. I mean, he's gotten us Lusala. So these are 3 exciting players for United who are about 16, who are between 16 to 18 years old. These are players you could have in 3 years. And most of the time, even when these players do not break into the first team because of the progress of the first team, these are players that are on United's books and they can fetch United some good money in transfer fees. So even that department is doing very well. Then on the pitch, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Rene Hack and Eric Tenhag, all Ineos's men, are also doing very well because the product that we are seeing that United is the performance that United has had in the past 2 games are very promising for its future.
That is so promising.
Yes, they're very promising for its future. They're not as daunted as the ones we had last season.
Anyway,
because last season, even a game you had won was really poor.
Anyway, yeah, I had not yet. That's the pick tweet from David Einstein. through Transfer News Live about Manuel Ugarte. So Manchester United fans can breathe, can be happy.
Is it me
I
or
mean,
does he look a bit like Scott McTominay?
bro, really?
He's shorter, way shorter.
Really?
But Mikel Merino does look like Scott McTominay.
Who? What? No, come on.
Mikel Merino, even in quality.
I know you're trying to have Josh say something. Rather, you're trying to have David say something. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. That was beautiful from all you guys. Sports Jazz guys, please do subscribe, like, and share our videos. Isaac, uh, Josh, once again, David in the building. See you tomorrow, same time. Tomorrow we will be coming. Anyway, you'll see the thumbnail very soon, but it will be about Liverpool. Let me just give you a hint. Once again, subscribe, like, and share our videos. We will be, I think that also will come as a surprise. Signing out, guys. Great show, guys. Great show. And the transfer news, the transfers are really booming. There's a lot in Eddie Nketiah
Yeah, it's
to
towards
Crystal
the end of the
Palace.
window.
Yeah, Eddie Nketiah to Crystal Palace is almost done. I see he's on for the medical, 25 million pounds plus 5 add-ons. That's a very, very good deal. He even costs more than McTominay, bro. Josh.
You guys are ungrateful.
Who,
Anyway.
Nketiah?
Yeah, Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let's sign out. Yeah.
Yeah, but Eddie Nketiah is a forward, and his ceiling has always been that high.
Anyway,
He's that type of player. He was at Arsenal. He showed that actually he would be a first team player had he been given the chance by Arteta, because every time he came on, he produced the goods. Scott McTominay, at least with Eddie Nketiah, you knew you were getting a striker. With Scott McTominay, you don't know if you're getting a CDM creative player, or you just know you're getting a tall player.
Yeah, Nick, adios to you guys. Shouting
Just
out,
like
thank you,
Merino.
Josh. Thank you. Adios to you too. Isaac, Josh, and David. Please subscribe, like, and share our videos. See you tomorrow, same time. Cheers.